into moments. Moments of triumph and moments of failure. Tonight is my moment. Tonight is our moment on a stage for the world to see. The battle begins now for LFL supremacy in Australia.
Welcome, LFL fans, to Sydney, Australia for LFL Football Night Down Under. Mitch Mortaza, your host, alongside Australian gridiron legend John Rowe. John, a big matchup tonight to start your broadcasting debut with the LFL. You've got the Queensland Brigade versus the New South Wales Surge. Talk to us about the significance of this game.
It's going to be huge. It's what we call the State of Origin matchup. We've got the biggest event of American football ever in Australia. Millions watching on television. This game is going to be huge. But let's talk about the away team tonight, the Brigade. The key for them is their quarterback, Jane Caldwell, 5'7", and definitely the leader of this team. But some have questioned the strength and the accuracy of her right arm. On defense tonight, Cody House, the muscular, prototypical linebacker. She needs to flow everywhere on this field tonight. She's also got to spy the New South Wales quarterback, Butler.
Barclay's impressive. Watching her in the preseason, she is coming into this game as the #1 ranked quarterback in all of LFL Australia. Standing behind her is the #1 ranked club in all of LFL Australia. And for a closer look at the New South Wales Surge, we go down to the field to the third member of our broadcast team, Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, Mitch and John, and it's a pleasure to join you guys this season. Yes, I've been with the New South Wales Surge for most of the day, and they definitely seem to have a high level of confidence. Most of their success tonight will depend on rookie quarterback Jacinda Barclay. And Barclay is believed to be the most complete quarterback this preseason. Barclay has the tools, a strong arm, physical runner and accuracy. Defensively, it's Australian native Chloe Butler, who played in the US League and also won 2 championship series. Now she has returned to Australia to introduce the sport to her home country. Butler is perhaps the most athletic player out here tonight, and Surge coaches have said they will let her loose to attack Queensland quarterback Jane Caldwell. So the stage is set. With a lot of anxiety and excitement, we are now ready for kickoff. Back to you guys.
It is the Queensland Brigade versus the New South Wales Surge. Kickoff is next.
LFL football presented by Party Deck, the LFL's official social media destination, connecting fans to the game.
Back to Sydney, Australia. And before we kick off this match, we go down to the field where Sarah Godfrey is with Chloe Butler.
Thanks, Mitch. I'm with one of the most recognised faces in LFL globally. It's Australian native Chloe Butler. Chloe, how special does it feel to have gained the highest level of success in the States and also known as a USA All-Star just moments before kickoff here in Australia?
Oh, Sarah, you know, there's no words to describe how this feels. You know, from a young girl, you want to be an elite female athlete, and here I am on one of the best grandstands in Australia, you know, playing the game I love, football.
Well, good luck. And this is history in the making. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sarah. It is absolutely history in the making. We are just moments away from the State of Origin. The Queensland Brigade versus the New South Wales Surge, John.
This is fantastic. These ladies are primed. They're ready to go. They've been training a long time for this. Such emotion.
You got to figure that nerves are going to be on edge until you get that first contact. And there is Mo Gaxiola getting us underway. Deep kick. Tamar Fennell brings it out for Queensland. She is still running. Fennell all the way out to the Queensland 23-yard line.
You can tell Tamar's played this game before. Look at the way she takes the ball, the way she cuts, and the way she changes the ball hands. This will be critical for Jane now to lead this team. See what they can do against the Surge.
That is Jane Caldwell, the rookie quarterback. I guess everybody's a rookie at this stage for the Queensland Brigade. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Queensland 23. The handoff goes to Fennell. Fennell tries the right side and just trying to motor her way for a couple yards.
You can see the quarterback called there. Well, just having a look at the defense, making the decisions, and now she gets a signal in from the sideline. Let's see what they're going to do here.
There's Mo Gaxiola, who came over from the Los Angeles Temptation, one of a few U.S. imports that are playing in LFL Australia this year. Now it is 2nd and 7. Caldwell back to pass, looks over the middle. Cody House Big completion. And Jane Caldwell looking more and more comfortable in that pocket. We had an opportunity to visit with her earlier in the day.
I've been working with this offensive scheme for 2 years now. I feel very confident coming into tonight's game and pulling off the W.
Caldwell showing the skills there with that great pass over the middle to Cody House.
One of those potential franchise quarterbacks. Now looking at a 1st and 10. Dropping back in the pocket. Now sees an opening on the left side. Caldwell still on her feet. All the way down to the 1-yard line.
Weather report here tonight, Mitch. There's a high chance of humidity right there. The surge. That, I thought, was a designed quarterback draw, but it was actually a pass because the receivers looked. Caldwell decided to run it herself.
Great recognition when the play breaks down. Looking like a veteran pocket passer there, taking off with the ball. Now a 1st and goal from the New South Wales 1-yard line. Chloe Butler looking to hit that gap. Now inside handoff to Fennell. Amanda James coming up from that linebacker position. Great goal line stand.
James with a great tackle. I think the Brigade thought they were in. I think they're just short.
That will set up a 2nd and goal as we meet the New South Wales defense.
Tahina Booth, defensive end. Chloe Butler, defensive end. Monique Gaxiola, middle linebacker.
Lisa Todaki, corner.
Bronte Zaya, corner.
Amanda AJ James, safety.
Mallory Vogelhuber, safety.
That defense will need to step up, and they do in a big way.
Big hit from the surge. Oh, that's what we like, a bit of fire first up. This is a State of Origin matchup.
As you guys say here in Australia, we are bringing the Biff back, right, John?
That's so true. It's amazing to see these athletes just ready to go.
Now a 3rd and goal. That interior defense of New South Wales is really hitting those inside gaps. And there's a lot of penetration from that side of the ball. Now a 3rd and goal inside the 1. As Jane Caldwell observes that defense. Yet another handoff and a fumble.
It's a fumble.
Fennell seems to have recovered and advancing the ball, but they will lose yardage. Now back to the 2-yard line.
Wow, New South Wales just shot out of a cannon. And we said they were almost going to take the snap, take the handoff. Defense just is doing a fantastic job. Are you telling me Brigade just can't get that 1 yard for a touchdown? They need to do something big here.
That was the U.S. import Mo Gaxiola from the Los Angeles Temptation hitting the gap.
Charge timeout.
And now we've got a timeout on the field.
That is their only timeout for the half.
Mitch, I think the Brigade are a little bit rattled. As you can see, Surge here, Coach Gaffey, he's revving him up. He knows he's on his own goal line. They've got to stop him. New South Wales is doing a great job.
They're doing a great job, but I think a lot of people did not expect this kind of offensive display from the Brigade. And now they're on the doorstep once again as they're looking at a 4th and goal now. There, that looks like a busted play, but Caldwell trying to make something out of it. And there's just a lot of collisions, and they will not get the touchdown as that New South Wales defense holds.
I'll tell you what, I hope everybody's enjoying it tonight on television because this is some of the best hitting we've seen in a long time from any sport.
I have not seen swarming from a defense since the '85 Bears. That was an impressive debut by the New South Wales goal line defense. Now, Jacinda Barkley in that offense for New South Wales take over at the 3-yard line. 1st and 10 handoff to Bonnie Gillespie.
Cody House. We talked about her in the pregame there. She's going to step up. She did a great job. Look at this hit. Bam! That's how you stop the running back.
Now a 3rd and 2 from the New South Wales 11. And you got to figure they're going to open it up here at some point with Jacinda Barkley. No, they're going to keep it on the ground. That's Bonnie Gillespie again, bouncing off defenders. And Gillespie goes for about 12 yards on that one as we meet Bonnie.
I'm a physical running back. I run like a mongrel, and I'm going to beat you, Queenslanders. You don't know what's coming for you. Oh.
He's angry. She's angry, Bonnie Gillespie.
What a personality, and they're going to keep it on the ground with Gillespie again, cutting across the field.
Wow.
Getting the ball out all the way to the 23. That's their ground attack. We also met their air attack with Jacinda Barclay.
I'm not worried about the preseason rankings or the millions of people watching. It's all about my team and the girls and simplifying the game.
Great run by Gillespie before. Let's see if Barclay is going to air it out anytime soon.
They're a confident bunch. There's another handoff to Gillespie. They're going to keep it on the ground. And
boom!
That was a great open field tackle by Tamar Fennell. Now let's meet that Queensland defense.
Lani Johnson, defensive end. Tyan Reid, linebacker. Freddie House, linebacker. Alex McCabe, linebacker. Ethan Kara, safety. Jackie Thurston, free safety. Ashley Brazil, safety.
And we've seen Cody House with a big hit tonight.
That was a bit of a miscue. That was intended for Kayla Mulvug. Jason Gaffey was very high on her coming into this game, but she dropped that one.
Mitch, we put that down to a bad pass or a bad catch?
I think a bit of both. That was a poorly set up bubble screen. They just couldn't make it happen, and Barclay goes back under center at 3rd and 4 now. Another handoff to Gillespie. Gillespie breaks it on the outside, breaking arm tackles, and Gillespie goes in for the first ever LFL Australia touchdown. That was a 21-yard run.
And she's excited about it. Great blocking up front, great cutback. Let's have a look at this. She takes the handoff to the left, starts the cutback into the right, but Brisbane Brigade's going to have to do a much better job of those angles if they need to tackle her. Shows the pace.
And look at Sherry Onley here on the seal block.
Wow.
Opening up that outside for Gillespie.
Sherry Onley, after she finished that block, she went down to find somebody else.
Former Gladiator Sherry Onley. What a great start for this offense. Marching down the field, as many suspected, against a very small Queensland defense.
Now, Mitch, just checking, there's no kicking here. They're going to run and pass it.
This will be a 2-point attempt from the 3-yard line to Gillespie. And nobody can get on the outside faster than her. She'll go in for the 2, giving New South Wales an 8-0 lead.
Great run to the left. I think she's been practicing those touchdown dances.
She is just a bolt of energy for this offense.
She certainly is. I know it's not the end of the game just yet, and that's the first touchdown, but Queensland need to come back real quick.
Bo Gaxiola will do the honors once again, as New South Wales is up 8-0. Deep kickoff. Tamar Fennell back, inside handoff, a little double reverse. Chloe Butler chases it down.
That got stopped big time by the surge. Brigade trying a little bit of trickery there, Mitch, a bit of reverse.
New South Wales staying disciplined and staying in their lanes, as their defense will now take over to face Jane Caldwell in Queensland. We met up with this defense, specifically Amanda James, to talk about their respect for Jane Caldwell.
We've watched game film on their offense. I've watched Jane Caldwell and her arm strength, and nothing about that and her impresses me.
Wow.
Wow, John.
Talking it up off the field. You better bring it on the field.
You can definitely tell there's no love lost between these two. It carries over from the rugby world over to the gridiron field.
There's some serious smash talking here between the State of Origin matchup.
Now that Queensland offense is backed up inside the 1, as that reverse kickoff did not work out. Now Caldwell with the quick snap out in the flat to Cody House. And House will go for about 5 as we wind down the first quarter. And New South Wales leading this one 8-0. Back to Penrith, New South Wales, just outside of Sydney, Australia, for the State of Origin matchup between the Queensland Brigade and the New South Wales Surge. Don, now Queensland's looking at a 2nd and 5 from their own 6-yard line.
Caldwell's been impressive so far tonight. 2 from 2 with the passing. She's hit Cody House twice. Nice target. Let's see if they can get the run game going.
House definitely seems to be her go-to target. Now a 2nd and 5, and they're going to keep it in the air. The exact same route intended to House earlier in the first quarter. That one's incomplete.
You can hear Caldwell there just talking to House, saying where she expects her to look for the ball. A little bit of timing involved here.
Yeah, you got to think there are nerves involved. There's a lack of continuity. This is very early in the infancy. This, not only this league, this sport in Australia. You do have to cut the offenses some slack here as we look at a 3rd and 5 from the Queensland 6. Caldwell, outside handoff goes to Tamar Fennell. Great stiff arm by Fennell, still fighting. She's a little Mighty Mouse.
And she'll be even better if those Brigade wide receivers can actually hold their blocks a bit longer. Fennell with a great run. She needs some help.
That went for about 11 yards to the outside, and watch this stiff arm, John. That is the little Mighty Mouse from the Cleveland Crush from the U.S. League. And as you could see, she's posted some impressive numbers in 2013.
Mitch, we call that a big don't argue in Australia. That was a great fend off. I think she's really been a great reinforcement for this Brigade team.
Absolutely. Much needed experience. Now a 1st and 10 from the 17. There they go again to Tamar Fennell. And this time a swarming New South Wales defense.
Gee, New South Wales surge, literally defensive line. They're almost coming through unblocked, Mitch. I think they're going to have to do a job for the Brigade to start blocking some people up front.
That was the big concern coming into this matchup, that New South Wales is just a larger, more physical team than this Queensland team. They were hoping to count a lot on the finesse and short passing game. Now a 2nd and 9 at the Queensland 18-yard line. As Caldwell looks over that defense. Now in the pocket, going to take off with it. And that is Chloe Butler coming up the middle. John, that entire interior defense of New South Wales is beating up Jane Caldwell tonight.
It's a great example here, Mitch. Everybody's gone out for a pass. It leaves no one to protect the quarterback.
Everybody's eligible in the LFL. But that's tough when your quarterback is under center. Perhaps you want to think about putting her in shotgun if you're going to release everyone. And you got to wonder how many hits Jane Caldwell can take before that ego and confidence gets shattered a little bit, not to mention her physical condition. Now a 3rd and 8. There's a little option play to Tamar Fennell on the outside, and Fennell still on her feet. She'll go for 11, and that'll be a Queensland 1st down.
Nice job, Brigade. I think this is what we need to see more of. Just a nice little option there, so the quarterback has the option to keep it or pitch it. Nice little gainer.
Seeing more and more of that, of the pistol and the option in the NFL, and now it's making its way to the LFL. Now a 1st and 10 from the New South Wales 20. Impressively enough, this offense is holding on to the ball and dominating New South Wales in terms of time of possession. That was a little screen pass that went errant.
I think Caldwell's just got to get a little more touch on that ball. That's a delicate pass. But Mitch, I noticed there, she was walking up to the line of scrimmage. She's wincing a little bit. She's taking hits like that all night tonight.
Definitely showing some nerves in the pocket, Jane Caldwell. And as we know, this is a monster matchup, the state of origin. We met with Jason Gaffey of the New South Wales Surge to talk about the importance of this game.
It's been a long journey for us. It's our state of origin game against Queensland today. We're going to play hard and fast and dare them to keep up with us.
I think the greatest thing when we spoke to the coaches, Coach Gaffey, his greatest fear tonight was fear of the unknown. Never played this type of game before in Australia, setting it on the world stage tonight. Not only did he have to plan for off the field, he has to plan for on the field as well.
No question. I think the biggest battle as a coach is, although this is the state of origin, it is New South Wales, Queensland, it is 1 out of 4 games. So how much importance do you place on it? That's the balance. Caldwell back to pass. Guess who? Cody House. That one only goes for about 2 yards.
A nice little quick pass there, just chipping away with the yards. Nice little bit of balance there, bit of run, bit of pass.
What's great about this offensive approach for Queensland is that it's keeping that New South Wales offense on the bench. Now a 3rd and 8 as the handoff goes to Fennell. Fennell cutting inside, and she'll go for about 11 yards down to the New South Wales 20 before Amanda James gets to her.
This is a nice little drive put together by the Brigade. I think you're right, Mitch, though. They need to keep this drive going to keep the ball out of Gillespie's hands.
Absolutely, and this gives confidence to Jane Caldwell. 1st and 10, again, handoff to Fennell on the right side, and she breaks to the outside.
Touchdown!
And she'll go for 6. Outrunning Chloe Butler to the outside as Queensland pulls within 2.
It's a nice little run to the right side, 11 yards into the end zone. Good blocking up front, good seal block by the receiver there, and it's just the power and the determination to get over the line.
That was a much-needed score for this Queensland bunch. What an impressive drive. That was 49 yards covered over 10 plays. Engineered by Jane Caldwell. Now the 1-point attempt, the 2-point attempt from the 3-yard line. And there's that swarming New South Wales defense. That'll keep our score 8-6 with the Surge on top.
The Brigade just trying a little counterplay there. The play starts to the right, cuts back to the left, but it took too long to develop in the backfield, and this swarming New South Wales Surge was there in a hurry.
We didn't really expect much of this, John. Everybody expected a blowout, but here's the Queensland Brigade within 2 points at the early part of the 2nd quarter as Fennell kicks us off. The Hina Booth deep. That is the monster running back. Booth brings it all the way out to about the 20-yard line for New South Wales.
Alex McCabe on the tackle there. She's done quite well tonight on defense so far. We were looking at Cody House to make a presence felt, but Alex McCabe's doing very well for the Brigade defense.
And you got to expect that New South Wales will probably go back to Bonnie Gillespie there, who has absolutely dominated this first half. 1st and 10 now at the New South Wales 20. There's a left side handoff to Gillespie. Nobody there as she motors to the outside. That will go for 20 yards, John.
Just great power running football. Just off the left edge there. Have a look at the left side of just getting some great blocks, sealing the edge, and she's got some wheels.
That sets up a 1st and goal from the Queensland 10. And that front line of Queensland is just getting blown away at the point of impact. There it goes again. That's Gillespie. Gillespie goes for about 5 yards, setting up a 2nd and goal.
This is great stuff, Mitch. I mean, it's fast and furious football. We had the Brigade score just 20 seconds ago, and now the Surge look like they're about to take it in again.
That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Jane Caldwell fired up, and New South Wales led by Mo Gaxiola.
Man, finally a reason to enjoy shopping. Visit LFLshop.com for all of your LFL gear and merchandise.
We are back to Centerbet Stadium as the New South Wales Surge are driving inside the 5-yard line. Cinda Barclay now with another handoff to Gillespie. Gillespie on the right side, motoring her way in for the 2nd score of the night. And now just staring down Tamar Fennell. She is playing with a lot of fierce energy tonight, John.
I thought Tamar Fennell had her there at the goal line, but it was just too much power. She had the speed, great blocking off the right-hand side. And she's in again. She's been going fantastic all night.
She is deceptively strong, John. You could see those legs just pushing, motoring. Reminds me of Roger Craig of the San Francisco 49ers. Just an incredible specimen. And now New South Wales will go for a 2-point attempt, and that's a naked bootleg with Jacinda Barclay.
Is she short or is she in? Where's that knee?
Looks like she converted. And that'll give New South Wales a 16-6 lead.
Great little bootleg run there.
New South Wales having a little fun in front of this raucous crowd, enjoying the debut of LFL football down under.
That's exactly what I want to see too. How about Gillespie's acceleration from the snap of the ball? And then the Queensland Brigade there not respecting the backside and the quarterback able to run it in.
That is one of those things when you come into a game where zero game film exists on anybody. You never know what's going to happen. And here's the kickoff to Fennell.
Big hit.
And Fennell will take it out to about the 22 of Queensland. That was Amanda James on the stop. What do you do here, John? You've got under 2 minutes remaining. How aggressive are you if you're Queensland?
They need to get in the end zone here. It's that simple. Otherwise, this game's going to get away from them. They've proven that they can do some running the outside. The short passes are working. Let's see what they do.
Surprisingly enough, Queensland is definitely a more balanced offense here in the first half. 1st and 10, inside handoff goes to Tamar Fennell. Nothing doing. Chloe Butler having a career game tonight. As the clock continues to run here now in full 2-minute offense. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Queensland 22. Caldwell back to pass, looking to the right flat. That one went to Stephanie Schenken, and she lost the ball. That is a loose ball, John. Looks like Cody House recovers.
House has got it. That's a lucky break from the Brigade. Nice little drop back, great little out route, exactly what we want to do here. She's got to hold on to that ball. Need to tuck that ball straight away.
Now we've got an injury down on the field. It looks like Tamar Fennell.
Oh, that's not good for the Brigade, Mitch.
That would be a big loss. Now we'll take a break and return to Center Bet Stadium shortly.
Be sure to become a part of LFL Nation on Facebook. Simply go to facebook.com/MyLFL and follow your favorite LFL teams and players by logging on to twitter.com/MyLFL.
Back to action here at Center Bet Stadium. And luckily for Queensland, that looked like Tamar Fennell will be okay. It'll be 3rd and 10 now from the Queensland 22. Little dump off to Cody House. House on the right side. And she is a monster out there tonight.
She's definitely been Caldwell's favorite target this evening.
Watch the end of this play.
Oh, that's what we like to see. Bit of fire.
That's a little bit of that state of origin blood. An inside rush. There's an ill-advised sack. A loss of 3 back to the 16. And the fire continues between these two, John.
Jane Caldwell, she's leading the team by example. She's passing, she's running. Everybody better get on her page because she wants this in the end zone.
That'll set up a 2nd and 13 from the New South Wales 19 late in the second half. Caldwell really starting to assert herself. As the clock continues to run. Caldwell looking into the pocket, looking in the back, nothing there. She's going to take off with it. And what a monster clothesline hit by Chloe Butler.
Holy dooly. Mitch, is this what it's like in the States? Are they hitting exactly like this? Are we doing good?
If you're coming across the middle like this, you are fair game. What a monster tackle by Butler. Now we've got a call on the field, John. That looks to be a horse collar on New South Wales. That gives Queensland new life.
That is a huge penalty. I think that'll take it down to about the New South Wales 6-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 6. And Caldwell looking to dump it off. That's incomplete.
So much pressure so quick, Mitch.
It just does not feel fair up front. That was Tahina Booth putting on the pressure. That'll be a 2nd and goal. This will be the last play of the half. And you can start hearing the crowd getting into it. There's that interior defense of New South Wales. Caldwell mishandles the snap. What a disastrous last few plays here for Queensland.
Oh, the center quarterback exchange so critical. Brigade coming in with just a backup centre just in the last couple of days, so that could have had something to do with it.
What a lost opportunity for Queensland as they'll go into the half down 10, 16-6. We'll return with halftime festivities after this.
They scored one touchdown because we didn't get a call. That's it. The rest of their play was shit. Yeah. All right? It's not what they do, it's what you do. All right? You have to make them make mistakes by being perfect. They can't move sideways. They can't do shit.
Definitely a very competitive set of locker rooms with Queensland and New South Wales, John. Welcome back to Centrevet Stadium here in Sydney, Australia. Mitch Mortaza once again alongside John Rowe. And John, I don't think anybody expected this Queensland team to be so competitive after one half of football. They're only down 10 points.
I think you're absolutely right. Nobody expected, because you've got the worst ranked team versus the top ranked team. And let's not forget, they went to the red zone twice, unable to score. That should have been an extra 16 points they had on the board.
They definitely left some points out on that field, but there was some scoring in the first half of this one. Started out with the historic first ever LFL Australia touchdown scored by the smallest player on the field, Bonnie Gillespie, who went in for this 21-yard touchdown run. That was answered by Queensland early in the second quarter, with Tamar Fennell capping a 10-play monster drive with this 11-yard touchdown run. And then the scoring ended in the first half with Bonnie Gillespie once again on this 5-yard touchdown run. That's where we are at halftime, 16-6. What do these two have to do in the second half of this game?
Simple. For the Brigade, they've got to get behind the fire and energy of their quarterback. She's been doing great. The offensive line and defensive line, they need to lift their game big time. But for me on defense, those pursuit angles that they're taking are just terrible. For the surge, why stop there? You've got Bonnie Gillespie just running the ball. Let's keep going with that. But Barclay needs to get that ball in the air.
And Barclay, by the way, John, was the #1 ranked quarterback coming into this game of the preseason. Although after 2 quarters of play, she's only got 1 completion for 4 yards. So New South Wales is definitely going to have to open it up there quite a bit. It all comes down to one half of football. It is the Queensland Brigade versus the New South Wales Surge. Who will win the first ever LFL Australia game? Second half kickoff after this. Back to second half action here at Centrevet Stadium. The first ever LFL Australia game. And there's a lot of fire in the house. There's a look at Bonnie Gillespie, our running back comparison, dominating Tamar Faith, the veteran. 77 yards. That is an LFL first half record. And now we go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey, who's with Jason Gaffey of the New South Wales Surge.
Thanks, guys. So I'm on the sideline with the New South Wales coach, Jason Gaffey. So you guys are up 10 points. Were you expecting this much of a fight from Queensland? And what's your tactic for the second half of the game?
Well, look, we definitely expected this much of a fight from Queensland. This is a State of Origin game. Those guys will never give up. They never have in any other sport. So it was never anything in our mind that told us that they wouldn't be fighting right to the end. Tactics for the second game is we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing well. We're running the ball well. We're trying to draw their safeties up a little bit. As soon as we get them up, we're going to air them out and bomb them in the end zone. Other than that, defensively, we need to tighten up a little bit on the edge. Once we tighten that edge up, I think we've got them for the rest of the game.
That sounds like a really good plan. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. And John, absolutely. Their scheme is working beautifully right now, despite it only being a 10-point game.
I think that's really important, Mitch. What we said before was Queensland's had this balanced offense, but we've only really seen the running game from New South Wales tonight. That's because I think they're just sticking with it, and it's working.
And there's the bulldozer, Fahina Booth. That was an 18-yard return all the way out to the New South Wales 21.
This is a great run. Big hit there, House and McCabe on the tackles. Still fighting.
We've yet to see Jacinda Barkley open it up. The much heralded quarterback with a very strong arm. But I guess when you're averaging 9.6 on the ground with Gillespie, why go away from it? And there she is again. That goes for 10 yards right on average, John.
Look at that. There's the attitude. Let's all get into it. I'll tell you what. Why would you pass when you're running to the right just like that? Did you see the wave of surge just pushing the Brigade out of the way?
No pun intended. We've got a 1st and 10 at the Queensland 19. Just like that, they're on the Queensland side of the ball. This reminds me of the old Denver Broncos offenses. Now a 1st and 10 handoff to Gillespie again, getting to the outside, cutting back inside. That'll go for 9 yards. They are just chipping away at this Queensland defense, John.
Nice little trap play there. The lineman from one side goes the other. Little reverse pivot handoff. Nice counter to the right-hand side. Surge just sticking what they know well.
2nd and 1 now from the Queensland 10. They just simply do not have an answer for Gillespie tonight. There's another handoff to Gillespie on the inside. That time Monique Bell comes up. That'll establish a 1st and goal from the Queensland 6.
Gillespie super hyped for this game. She knows she's on record-setting pace for this opening match.
A play-action pass down here would go well, as you got to figure that Queensland defense has got to start isoing on Gillespie. There it is. There's the reverse with Jacinda Barkley. Great seal block by Sherry Onley. And this New South Wales crowd is loving this.
You called him. It's great. Play action fake that side. The quarterback's going to keep it. Watch the great block here. It's just a nice job on the edge there. But you're absolutely right. The Brigade just keying on Gillespie. She's getting the ball. She's getting the ball. Great job by the quarterback.
And New South Wales showing no mercy, as they're going to go for 2 here from the 3-yard line. For all our new fans, there are no field goals, no punts in this game. Everything is 4-down territory. And extra points look like this.
Oh, great stuff.
That time Onley simply chipping and breaking off into the flat and wide open for that extra point conversion. That will extend the lead to 24-6 as New South Wales starts to pull away in this one.
With such a heavy dose of Gillespie, that leaves plays be open to Barclay, and she can walk him basically.
That scheme is working out beautifully, and there's another look at that block. Back to 3rd quarter action as we go down to the field again to Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, guys. So I'm here on the sideline with Chloe and Monique. How does it feel to be dominating, Chloe?
It feels awesome, Sarah, but you know, in defense, you can never get complacent. You want to bring the win home, not let a win go.
And Monique, your first time on Australian soil. How does it feel? How are the New South Wales crowd treating you?
They're very receptive to what we're doing out here. We're trying to show them that we're playing real football, and they seem to be enjoying themselves. So as long as we keep playing and giving them a good time and entertainment, I think we've won our fans over, definitely.
Great. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Obviously a bit of controversy earlier in the week about the premiere of the LFL Down Under. And I think these young ladies are definitely answering the question, is this a real sport? Are these real athletes? I think that's been answered.
I'd say to be answered in the first 30 seconds of the game. Some of those hits we saw were just amazing.
Now Monique Gaxiola with a deep kick back to Tamar Fennell. Fennell gets it out for about 13 yards. That'll come out to about the Queensland 10-yard line.
Special teams have got to do a better job. They're getting plenty of practice of returning kicks. They should be getting more yards.
Now the pressure comes back to Jane Caldwell. Much maligned this offseason as perhaps the 4th-ranked quarterback in Australia. Having a decent first half and now has got to rally. 1st and 10 in the pocket, looking over the middle. That is that familiar route to Cody House, but nobody near that pass.
For me there, Mitch, Caldwell's just got to get a little bit more touch on that ball. She's trying to rifle it in too hard, too fast.
A bit of urgency starting to set in as that clock continues to run. And they're down 18 points. And lacking any speed or receivers on the outside, this is going to be a tough battle. 2nd and 10 from the Queensland 9 now. Little pitch out on the left side to Fennell. Fennell gets about 2 yards. Mo Gaxiola on the stop.
There's that option play we saw going to the right-hand side before. Now they take it to the left. I really like this play from the Brigade. I think we should be seeing that more in the offensive playbook.
Sometimes this late in the game, though, you start losing certain parts of your playbook. And that's going to be one of those aspects as the clock becomes the secondary foe to Queensland. Now a 3rd and 8. Caldwell looking over that defense. Back in the pocket, going to try the right side to House. And House heard some footsteps and dropped that ball.
I think that pass was there, Mitch. Again, just Caldwell throwing in too hard, too hot.
There just does not seem to be a lot of continuity in that passing game.
She's definitely taking control. She's calling the plays. She's got this team rolling well. It's just got to gel together.
A very crucial 4th and 8 here as the crowd is starting to get into this game. New South Wales senses blood in the water. Caldwell under center. Caldwell now back in the pocket, looking over the middle to House again. And Mo Gaxiola totally smelled out that play.
She's got that down pat. That's the only pass pattern they've run all night.
And Caldwell's been beat up all night. As you can see, John, Caldwell's had no opportunity tonight, as that interior defense has been in the backfield more than their running backs.
She's done quite well considering the amount of time she's been beat up. She's holding onto the ball all right, but that could play with her mind a little bit later on.
Now the key here is you're turning the ball over very deep in your own territory with Queensland, as New South Wales takes over from the 11-yard line with a very short field and a very good running back. Barclay now dropping in the pocket for a rare pass. Looking at Kayla Mulvode, and Mulvode drops the ball. Or is that a touchdown, John?
She's celebrating like it's a touchdown. That was a great pass from Barclay. Here we go. Referee's going to have something to say about it.
Here's the incomplete pass. That looked like a possible trap from my angle. Let's take another look. I don't think she had possession there.
Nice use of the Academy Award, though, for overacting. She thought she was going to try and convince the referee that she had the touchdown.
And the crowd expressing their views of that call.
I don't think they're happy about it.
You guys are definitely not shy down under, John. That is the official call. It is an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Queensland 11. Let's take another look. You could see Mulvode struggled to keep possession of that, and the nose of the football looked to hit the turf.
That was a great effort by Barclay rolling out to the right. She was super accurate on that. I'm impressed.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Looks like they even had an opportunity to review that. That is definitely an incomplete pass.
New South Wales is charged with a timeout.
That'll be a 2nd and 10, and New South Wales loses the timeout. Not sure it matters all that much at this point. Here comes Jacinda Barclay in that offense. Another right side handoff to Bonnie Gillespie, who explodes to the 1-yard line.
All night, Mitch, all night long.
That'll set up a 1st and goal from the 1. As she gets to the outside, nobody there.
Ooh, just short, just short.
Lamar Fennell saving a touchdown. Let me guess what's going to happen here. Bonnie Gillespie having a career performance in her 1st game. Flirting with that 200-yard mark, which we seldom see in the LFL. 1st and goal from the 1 now. Barclay.
We've got a hanky on the field.
Looked to be a possible false start on New South Wales.
Illegal snap on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That is it. So that'll back them up to about the 6-yard line. One of the very few mistakes this New South Wales team has made tonight. There's another inside handoff to Gillespie. Gillespie gets in. That is her 3rd score of the night. Looked to be possibly a penalty on New South Wales.
Yeah, the whistle was blown a bit too long there by the referee, so he's seen something. Yeah, there's the flag on the field.
Motion. Number 10 was moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
We've got an illegal motion.
You don't see that often, but that is going to back him up another 5 yards. It'll be 1st and goal from the 11. Let's see if they elect to go to the air now. No, they're going to keep it on the ground again. Gillespie on the right, cutting back inside, cutting back outside. That'll go for 8 yards all the way down to the Queensland 3-yard line.
Gillespie, another great run, but what I was impressed with there was the Queensland Brigade swarming to the tackle. It's the first time we've seen it all night.
It's good to see that they haven't thrown it in completely here. We'll see how much fight this Queensland team has in it down the stretch as they face a 2nd and goal on defense. There's another bootleg to Barclay. Barclay gets to the outside, and that'll be another touchdown. Alex McCabe cannot get to the outside fast enough.
Too much speed from Barclay there. Good job by Alex McCabe, but she's got to respect that she's got to hold that edge. Nobody's allowed outside of her. Have a look here. Fake. Too much of an angle. McCabe, too shallow.
New South Wales loving this. This crowd is fired up as they're up 30-6 now. This is why they were considered the preseason #1 ranked team. Have size, athleticism, defense, speed, quarterback play. And now you've got an explosive running back that nobody saw coming. They're going to line up for a 2-point conversion here with Gillespie. Can't get to the outside. And for the first time, we see a swarming Queensland defense.
This surge team, 4 plays, 11 yards for the score. The previous drive, Mitch, 4 plays, 29 yards. They're not taking them long to get in the end zone, that's for sure.
That's an excellent point. You give them a short field like that with this explosive offense, and you could pretty much just put those points on the board. Now New South Wales lining up with Mo Gaxiola for yet another kickoff with 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Another nice high deep kick. And Tamar Fennell brings it out about 15 yards. That'll go to about the Queensland 17.
Boom! Are you kidding me? What an all-round athlete right here. Running all night and now on special teams as well. All she needs to do is take an interception.
That's Bonnie Gillespie. Just an absolute fire plug. Every roster, it doesn't matter if they're US, Canada, Australia, you need a player like that on your roster. Now another look at Jane Caldwell and this Queensland offense. Inside handoff. Lonnie Johnson. That'll go for about a loss of a yard on the play, and that is the end of the 3rd quarter as New South Wales continues to dominate 30-6.
This next quarter will test the determination of the Brigade. Will they roll over, or are they got some fight in them?
This has been a dominating performance by New South Wales. Back to 4th quarter action at Centrebet Stadium, and this has turned out to be a physical game.
Some absolutely big hits here tonight. Very impressive. Very impressive. I know the crowd's getting their money's worth tonight.
This is definitely a great first experience for this Australian audience. 2nd 11 now for Jane Caldwell and the Queensland Brigade. There she goes to her favorite target, Cody House, the big rangy tight end.
At least we've mixed it up tonight. We've seen 2 pass patterns. We've seen the hitch over the middle and the sort of speed out to the side. We haven't really gone to the left at all, which is quite interesting. Mitch, you were saying not really that depth at receiver tonight.
Not only no depth at receiver, absolutely. There's just no other target besides Cody House. And what's happening now is Mo Gaxiola is just spying House. And outside of that, you have Tamar Fennell, and that is it. 3rd and 8 now from the Queensland 19. Caldwell back to pass. Once again, looking in the flat to Cody House, but that went to Kasara Swift. I tell you what, John, despite the challenges, Caldwell is taking control of this offense.
Guys, let's get it together, all right? I want a tight huddle. Let's go. What time is it? What time is it?
So much pressure on the young girl tonight. First season.
Now facing a 4th and 5 from the Queensland 22. She's back to pass, going to take a shot down the field. Nowhere close to the intended receiver. That was just ugly, John.
It was, but at least we saw something down the field. That's the first time we've seen it tonight. Finally taking a chance.
At this point, you're out of options. You got to take your shots where they are. And she'll go back and learn from this one. Definitely going to be one of the future stars of this league. That package showed us that she is a feisty quarterback, is not going to back down from anybody.
I thought she's done real well tonight calling the plays with wristband, especially in that 2-minute huddle just before the first half.
That's at least one bright spot for this Queensland team. As we get another look at Gillespie, still fighting down to about the 13-yard line. She went for about 9 yards on that play.
Tamara Fennell, too. I'm back on defense now. That injury in the first half there seems to have shaken that off, and she's back on the D, trying to shut down Gillespie.
And another element of this is Victoria and Western Australia are going to look at this game film and definitely key on that young lady, Bonnie Gillespie, as she takes a monster shot from Tamar Fennell. But that'll be enough for another first down. That one went for 10, John.
Tamar Fennell just doing so well, just like Gillespie, offense and defense. Great hit there. But I think you're exactly right, Mitch. I mean, we've seen tonight New South Wales haven't really shown that much. They've shown a couple of things, but they're just doing well with what they're doing. They don't need to expand into anything else and give away too many secrets.
Yeah, you wonder how much of their playbook they're going to show at this point. First and goal run by Bonnie Gillespie. That'll be a loss of a yard.
And that could be a tactic of both teams tonight. We've seen tonight. We're venturing into the unknown. The first game, the Maidens and the Angels will get a good look at this tape. I don't think both teams want to show too much. There's a long way in the season to go yet.
Oh, absolutely. And for Queensland, you've got to kind of go back to the drawing board. Your next match is January 4, back on the Gold Coast, and just learn from this game film. Second and goal. Jacinda Barkley on the quarterback bootleg, finds Sherry Onley in the flat.
Great pass.
And that goes for another touchdown, extending that lead to 36-6.
I almost thought she was going to do another bootleg out and keep it again. Because I thought McCabe from the Brigade was in bad position. Fake left, roll right, threads the needle, and catches it.
There is just plenty of options. Whenever you have a run game like they've had tonight, that opens up your playbook, obviously. Jacinda Barkley now inside handoff, goes to the outside now. And we've seen her in the end zone all night. That's going to go for 2 points. That is Bonnie Gillespie.
And there's some breakdancing right there, Mitch. I was about to say it's Lionel Richie all night long. She's just done this the whole night.
What a fun night for this New South Wales crowd here at Centrebet Stadium. There's another look at Bonnie Gillespie, and nobody touches her.
Check out this move, Dancing with the Stars. That's a 1999 Rocksteady Crew style.
It should be illegal to have this much fun. The crowd is starting to chant. Drum beats are going. There's Fennell returning yet another kickoff. This one goes for about 18 yards to the Queensland 20. We are into garbage time now, John.
I'll tell you what, this is where Brigade Brigade has to save some face here. They've got to get the drive going. Just keep the ball out of the Surge's hands and just run it down and try and get a score.
This is where you dig in and show some life. There's Sherry Onley, who's had a great game, both sides of the ball. First and 10 now for Jane Caldwell. In the pocket, looking off to the right side. Ball deflected. Amanda James has been all over the field tonight.
You can hear the quarterback there saying she wants to look for it earlier. We've either had the hitches over the middle or the quick outs to the right-hand side. As you said before, Mitch, now the Surge know those two zones. They're just going to drop to it and say, throw us the ball.
They know what's coming. Sherry Onley, Chloe Butler, Amanda James, they're just going to pin their ears back and get after Caldwell. Second and 10. Caldwell back in the pocket. Now she's going to try to take off with it. Gets to the outside for about 2.
Not what the Brigade wanted, but there was obviously nothing downfield for Caldwell to pass to. They've got to make some yards here.
Great coverage in that secondary, forcing her to take off with the ball as the clock continues to run. And New South Wales living up to their preseason billing as the #1 ranked team in all of the LFL Australia. Up 38-6 in this one. Now a 3rd and 8 from the Queensland 22. Caldwell dropping back now. There is just constant pressure coming up the middle. John, how do you set yourself when there's somebody in your face at the snap?
Well, Caldwell's got the right idea there. You've just got to bail out. We've got a flag on the play there, Mitch. Caldwell's got the right idea. She's got to bail out from under center to the left or the right and get some time and space for her to throw. We haven't seen her roll to the left at all tonight.
Personal foul, number 11 defence. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That is a personal foul. I believe he said number 11. That'll be enough for a first down.
Unfortunately, Mitch, you don't want to have to rely on penalties all night to gain your yards.
That does. It has extended a couple of the Queensland drives without a doubt. Caldwell now a little pitch out reverse. This one to Kasara Swift. Swift trying the left side of the field. Oh, touchdown saving tackle there.
Good play call, though. I like it.
Valerie Mulhuber. That looked like it was going to open up, John, and then Mulhuber just closed in on her.
Good call by Coach Chapman. But yeah, look at the angle and the closing speed of the surge. Very nice.
That will set up a 1st and goal for Queensland. Just a little bit of fight, John. We didn't expect this. We thought it was only going to get worse. But Queensland's definitely showing some life as we near the 2-minute warning and approach that 2-minute warning. We'll be back for the end of this one. Now we're inside of 2 minutes here. Bonnie Gillespie given game MVP honors. 181 yards on 18 carries. A monster night for Gillespie.
10 yards a carry. That is amazing.
You did not expect that kind of a performance right out of the gate. And our own Sarah Godfrey has caught up with Gillespie to talk about her night.
Thanks, guys. So I'm down here with Bonnie. She's been announced MVP for the first ever LFL Australia game. How does that feel?
No words can describe. Oh, shit. She's going to cry. No, I'm not going to cry, but I'm just, thank you. I just want to thank my team for making the way for me. And I just love hitting them gaps. And, yeah, I'm just loving the whole night. Very blessed to be here. I'm excited. It's crazy.
Well done, Bonnie. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sarah. What a special night, John, for Bonnie Gillespie. Once again, 181 yards on the night.
What a fiery running back.
Now a 1st and goal handoff. Tamar Fennell not going anywhere. Gains about a yard until Mo Gaxiola comes up. And as you can see, Tamar Fennell has struggled tonight. You would have expected those kinds of numbers from her, not from Gillespie. They're going to go back to Fennell and nothing doing. This time she loses 4 yards. Once again, Gaxiola on the stop.
Same play called again. Didn't work the first time. They've gone back to it the second time. Just as bad. That surge defense just swarming that left-hand side.
Butler, once again, a career night for her with 9 tackles. Guess who they go to again? Fennell. Nothing doing. As the clock continues to run.
I'm really impressed with the defensive units. They're basically getting off their blocks and going tackle. That's what you want out of the team.
Absolutely. And Caldwell's numbers, decent. Sherry Onley now on the stop. That was 4th and goal, so the ball will go back to New South Wales. 4 plays, John. 4 Tamar Fennell runs. Who's the offensive coordinator in Queensland?
That's a good question. Probably somebody that's going to be unemployed right about now. But I tell you what, you can't get a game plan like that if they're getting so much pressure that quickly.
Absolutely. That is going to be on New South Wales. It did not look like they were set.
I saw Queensland running up to the line. I don't think they were ready for it either.
Illegal procedure. Snapping the ball before it was declared ready for play against the offense. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
I think what the offense saw there was that the defense weren't even on the field. Let's go. Let's get this play done. See if we get a big touchdown.
1st and 10. That went half the distance, so the ball will stay around the 1-yard line. Barkley under center. There's a handoff to guess who.
Really impressive with the offensive line there of the Surge. You can see they're using the outside zone techniques. Great run blocking.
And now this is interesting. You're up 32 points in your hurry-up offense. A little bit of bad blood here, state of origin style. Running up that score.
So open down the left-hand side. Shame they couldn't connect there. But Mitch, you can see the difference in the pressure from the defensive line of the Brigade compared to the Surge. Just no pressure whatsoever. I think the Brigade are tired.
No question. No question. I think it's just a lack of size, a lack of physical play, and they're going to struggle because WA is a larger team and physical team, as is Victoria. So I think they're going to struggle unless they develop some size and some tenacity. Now Gillespie again on the handoff, goes to the right side, cuts back to the inside, and she may be gone here. Still breaking tackles. Gillespie all the way down to the 13-yard line. That was a 32-yard run.
Check out some of the blocks here. Just the offensive line down the field, the receivers down the field.
And look at this, New South Wales lining up for yet another score. Barkley on the naked bootleg to the right side with 14 seconds.
Wow.
Goes in for another score.
And a nice little touchdown dance there. Little celebration. Yeah, Mitch, I mean, look, that's the 3rd time that they've run that exact play. McCabe getting caught too far inside.
Now, what do you think this does to that New South Wales-Queensland rivalry? When you're up 32 points and you're still going after it. Coach Chapman cannot be happy about that. That'll bring us to the end of the game, and the party has just started in Sydney, Australia, as the New South Wales win the first ever LFL Australia game with a whopping score of 44-6 over Queensland.
I'd like to say, Mitch, congratulations to both teams for taking part in the first ever game.
Certainly a wonderful night as a new sport was born down under, and we saw a bit of everything tonight. Great offense, great defense. A new star was born in Bonnie Gillespie. And I'm telling you, this #1 ranked New South Wales Surge is for real. For Sarah Godfrey, John Rowe, Mitch Mortaza, we will see you next week from Melbourne for LFL Football Night.